Open. Thank you. We'll move now to Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I just want to remind everybody that the meeting is being taped by Marshfield Community Media. My understanding is, Mr. Administrator, there is no TA report for this special board meeting of
That
August
is correct, Mr.
31st.
Chairman.
All right, we'll move on to the action items. So, sorry, Mike, I don't have the total list of actions. Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate that. The first is discussion vote for the request for permission to hold the Run for the Hills 5K on Monday, September 4th, 2023, from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Any discussions, any comments from my colleagues? No.
This is another great event.
We do a lot of runs, I'll tell you that.
We are running
I don't do a
town.
lot of runs, but we do a lot of runs.
I do a pushing and a walking occasionally.
So hearing no other comments, I would like to make a motion that the board move to request by Dave Willis for the Marshfield General Hills Store to host the Run for the Hills 5K race on Monday, September 4th, 2023. The race will begin at 10 a.m. on Old Main Street and finish on Prospect. The proceeds from the race will be used for the benefit of the Marshfield community and for the funding of a scholarship for a deserving graduate of Marshfield High School. Pending sign-off from the Marshfield Police Department and Marshfield Fire Department. I look for a second.
Second?
Motion been made and duly second, and roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous to approve the request of Dave Wills for the Marshfield Hills Run for the Hills on September 4th.
Fantastic, thank you. Second item is a discussion and vote on request to amend the temporary entertainment license. Previously was approved by the Select Board on July 31st, 2023 for Bold Broadcasting LLC, DBA Bold Media, to include October 7th, 2023. Discussions, comments?
So we
Pretty
have it
straightforward.
for September 22nd, October 29th, October 7th, October 8th.
And this is the October 7th
Yes.
ad.
And Mr. Chairman, if I may, the reason for the change, if we might remember, Land
Oh,
and
there was
Jam
the
was going to be
conflict.
two, right?
Correct, there was
So
that
now they're
conflict.
just doing the one.
They moved it over. Okay. I would like to make a motion to amend the temporary entertainment license previously approved by the Select Board on July 31st, 2023 for Bold Broadcasting LLC, DBA Bold Media, to include the date of October 7th, 2023. Look for a second.
Second?
Motion been made and duly second, and roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to include for Bold Media, October 7th.
Great. I would now like to open a discussion and vote on an appointment to the advisory board of a Mr. Rick Smith. I believe Mr. Smith is here. Would you like to make a few comments, Mr.
Come
Smith?
on up.
Come on up.
Here or
Sit right here.
Yeah.
right here?
Yeah. First of all, thank you for volunteering.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll just, I guess, take a second to introduce myself. My name's Rick Smith. I've been a member of the Marshfield community for almost 4 years now. I live over in the Telegraph Hill neighborhood with my wife and 2 boys. Absolutely love our community and couldn't be happier to be here. And you know, since I was a young boy, I've been a member of the Boy Scouts, became an Eagle Scout, became a United States Marine, spent time in Iraq in combat there, and then came back and spent my career in the environmental services industry, working on behalf of our planet in the regions that I've lived. And this community here is very, very special to myself and my family, and I couldn't be more honored to have the opportunity to be able to give back my time and skills and experience to be able to support the town and its residents in being able to continue to grow and maintain the amazing community that is here in Marshfield.
Thank you.
Excellent. So I'm so thrilled to have you aboard, and we look forward to many years of
Fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
fun.
fun.
It'll be good.
I look forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your service as
Thank
well.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's harder now more than ever to find people to step up and serve. So thank you for stepping up and being there for your community.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Serve the country now, serving your communities, so you can see how the vote may go. Thank you once again. We badly need volunteers, so I really appreciate you stepping up and do that. So I would like to make a motion to appoint Mr. Rick Smith to the advisory board, and looking for a second.
Second?
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Rick Smith to the advisory board.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Next is a discussion and vote of license agreement for the school street signalization. Do we have anyone in the room that would like to address that?
Yes, very much so.
Welcome, Attorney Guard.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having me. This is Stephen Gard, attorney for the applicant here, which, by the way, one of which happens to be the town of Marshfield, for the new signalized intersection at the intersections of Plain Street and School Street. So in your packets this evening is a license. It is a license document allows the permission of landowners to allow other people to do certain things on their land. In this case, as you can see from the first exhibit to the license is a title exhibit, and it's color-coded into who owns what land. There are 4 parties involved in order to pull this off, to get this light in and the subdivision created so that we can access that light, including the land for what I call the Lone Street extension, but it's actually Briggs Road now. It's been named Briggs Road. That is privately owned land that will connect and eventually a public way to the signalized intersection for the extension of School Street. To that extension will be the DPW driveway, now called Reynolds Road. The Martin property will also be connected to this. The industrial communications and any other business on Lone Street will also use this intersection as well to exit their properties. The Frozen 4 location for South Shore Buds will also connect to this light, as well as Quirk Kia dealership. So it's really quite an improvement for that area. You know that this particular intersection, we've gone over this before when I've pitched you the idea, which, by the way, is Greg Guimond's idea, was to have that Lone Street connector and move the intersection from the Lone Street, Plain Street connection down to School Street. That's where we wanted it at first, but the town had asked us to consider that. So a lot of moving parts. It's like Marshfield Jenga, getting everybody together and trying to get all the players in row. But everybody's waiting for the town to sign on, because the majority, a big section of the subdivision road is on town property. The infrastructure will also be able to handle all the drainage that's necessary for this roadway, as well as connecting all the driveways. All of the work that you see, which is the last plan, is to be done consistent with the special permit, or the certificate of action / special permit granted by the planning board when the subdivision plan was approved. The last one will also show you that the cost allocation is that the town will pick up the tab for nothing. The only section that's still up in the air a little bit is the resurfacing of the section of 139 inside the signal itself. Everything else will be done by private parties. So this document will allow us to begin the work and file this with Mass DOT, which is the last piece of the puzzle that they need in order to proceed to the final phase of the permit granting phase. In this case, they say 75, but we're really at probably like 90%, because this is the last one. This will also allow the public, as well as the owners of the property, to pass and repass over the roads once they're done. The reason that this went this route is because the town's land is registered land. So in order for us to file a subdivision plan on registered land, it has to go through the engineering department in Land Court in Boston. That takes a long time right now. So we have another plan for that, which we're going to come back to you. But in the meantime, the license will allow us to do this until we get to town meeting and ask the town to grant permanent easements for the license, which we're doing now, which we expect to be doing in the spring town meeting. In the meantime, we will be processing the subdivision plan for approval, either with Land Court or a deregistration of the land to get it recorded at the Registry of Deeds. Well, that's basically what we're asking for you today is to sign on. By the way, Mike coordinated a meeting with all of the department heads, including the DPW, and everyone was positive and supportive. Bob Galvin was there as well. Bob and I have gone back and forth on the document. I think it's fair for me to represent that Bob is satisfied with the final version, which he has had. And I think what we were asking was for you to authorize Mike to sign it on behalf of the town, but if the board would rather sign it themselves, that's fine too. I have it set up so that, either way you want to do it.
Thank you. I know it's been going on for a while. I know you put a lot of effort in it, and I know there were a lot of moving parts, so
Yeah.
I'm glad after many meetings, we're finally here.
They said it couldn't be done, but we're here, and that's all credit to Ben. Ben is, he's as tenacious as me. When someone says you can't do something, we work really hard to pull it off. And it's important for the town and for these landowners. It's really gonna make it safer to get out of there, especially the town trucks, the Martin trucks, and the industrial communication trucks. Those are big trucks trying to make a left-hand turn out of Lone Street or out of the driveways to go, to go west on 139, and it's
It's a
just
difficult street.
treacherous, yeah.
Difficult street.
Yeah.
I'll turn it over to my colleagues for any thoughts, concerns, discussion.
As you know, I've been watching this go on for a long time. So I'm thrilled that you have been able to work with all of these neighbors and get it to the point you are today. And as you said, it's almost a miraculous feat to be able to get all those people on the same page. And so kudos to you and your team and all of them for getting this far. And
Thank you.
And the cost to the town will be minuscule, if anything, and
Right.
and we'll work through that later on. So I applaud the efforts, and it'll be good for everybody crossing with carriages or trying to get from one side of the street to the other, right? It's really great. So thank you for the opportunity to say that.
Yeah, I'm sorry it's taken this long. It's been a very frustrating journey, but we're excited that there's going to be a big public safety improvement with that intersection. And I think when we started the process, you started it, you were clean shaven, and it's taken so long that
I swore I wouldn't shave until I got the light. The beard would be a lot longer if that were the case. Yeah. That's a good point. Well, it's the right thing to do for that spot, and I think convincing the landowners that it was the right thing wasn't really hard. It was just getting everybody coordinated to, who was going to contribute to what. And, thanks to Greg Guimond for, following this along and being supportive through the process with the planning board to get it approved. Because I think the Briggs Road connecting Lone Street to the signal, that, I never thought that was going to happen. When he first sent me the crayon drawing he did, I was like, he's never going to pull this off. And yet we were able to do it because, people saw the value in that. And hopefully, I think at some point, the town should consider, and probably will consider, just closing that Lone Street curb cut to 139. The only business there was the motorcycle shop, and they're going to go to the light anyway, probably. So it makes sense to just eliminate that truly hazardous intersection at some point down the road.
Thank you, Attorney Guard. So I would like to make a motion that the board moves to approve the license agreement between the town of Marshfield, owner of the land, 965 Plains Street, Donald J. Martin, Jr., trustee of the Martin Realty Trust, owner of 975 Plains Street, BLMC LLC, owner of the land at 985 Plains Street, Frozen 4 Corp., with offices at 985 Plains Street, who acts from time to time as an agent of BLMC, LLC, and Chester Sherman LLC, owner of 955 Plains Street, for the work required to be done related to the signalization of School Street intersection with 139, and I would look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne.
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler.
Aye.
Mr. Darcy.
Aye.
A unanimous vote to approve the licensing agreement between the town of Marshfield and the owners as aforementioned by the chair.
Okay.
Thank you very much, folks. It was a pleasure. Ben, I did tell Ben in his defense, 6:15. So.
So that was great. That was the best meeting I've ever been to.
That was my fault. I moved it up. Thanks for coming in, though.
Mike, we'll coordinate
Yes.
Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Have a good holiday.
All right. Number 5 and last is a discussion vote on appointment of the Marshfield Municipal Affordable Housing Trust Board of Trustees. And so I will open that up for discussion. Thoughts?
This has been part of something we've been working on, and the town has improved this trust at town meeting, and perhaps Michael, where he's been at the helm for a little bit of it, and actually a lot of it. Would you care
Yes,
to
sure,
inform the
yep.
public where we are?
Yeah.
I'd be happy to,
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Please-
So,
please do.
as folks remember back at the Springtown meeting, they approved the Marshfield Housing Trust. And the Housing Trust will, the Housing Partnership will morph into the actual Housing Trust. And the Housing Trust will do everything that the Housing Partnership did. It works to create affordable housing, working with all of our partners in the Commonwealth to have affordable housing, as well as manage the funds. The Housing Authority, up to that point, was gracious enough to hold the funds, run the lotteries, things that the Marshfield Housing Partnership couldn't do because they were not a housing trust fund. Now we're a housing trust fund, we can do all of those things. The final piece that needed to be done, at 2 meetings ago, the Select Board chose the number you could have had, either 5 or 7 members. We went with the full 7 members of the Board of Trustees, and tonight, the board will be doing the final piece, and that is to appoint the actual trustee members to the trust, and there are 2 and 1 year terms, the way it's written. The majority gets a 2-year term, the minority gets a 1-year term. And then everyone can be renewed a few times each.
From a procedural perspective, do you recommend we vote individually or all 7?
I think you can vote all the 2 years and then all the 1 years.
All right, that makes sense. That makes sense. Stephen, questions,
No.
comments? Pretty straightforward. Yeah, it happened at town meeting. So I'd like to make a motion, the board moves to appoint the following residents to the Marshfield Municipal Affordable Housing Trust Board of Trustees with the following terms. These are 2-year terms. Fred Monaco, Cody Rowland, Michael Maresco, Lynn Fiddler. And I would like to make a motion for them to become part of the Marshfield Affordable Housing Trust.
I'll abstain.
Second?
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler is abstaining, and Mr. Darcy.
Aye.
2-0 vote to appoint.
Okay. Now we'll move on to the 1-year votes. It's Kerry Richardson, Mark Uber, and Cecilia DiDillo. Do I have that right?
DiCadillo.
DiDillo. All right, for 1-year term to the Marshfield Municipal Affordable Housing Trust. I'd like to make that motion.
I'll
Second? Oh, you can.
I'll second this one again. I'll second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
A unanimous vote to approve those for a 1-year term, and I just want to make sure the record reflects 1 abstention in the first one.
Okay. Seeing no further business for this special select board meeting of August 31st, 2023, I'd like to make a motion that the board moves to adjourn the meeting and look for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to adjourn this meeting.
Special meeting is adjourned.